What's up, everybody? What is going on? Fred Richani, TSC. Been a while since we've done a quick MMA recap, but we got some big news coming out of UFC 321. Now, at the time I'm recording this, we're about to start the heavyweight title fight between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, and Lord help me if Cyril Gane finds a way to win this freaking title after being destroyed by John Jones and outclassed by Francis Ngannou. That would make the heavyweight division a complete mess. We also got the revelation that Tom Aspinall's dad is saying, yeah, I don't want my son to sign a new contract. I want him to go into boxing, which is always fun, and Dana White's thrilled about that. Anyway, here's the big news and why I decided to go live real quick, because Mackenzie Dern, the lauded, the critically acclaimed, beloved Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner, absolute badass in the grappling space, of course, transitioned to MMA several years ago. A lot of people said she was an industry plant. A lot of people were like, oh, she's just in it for her looks and this and that, blah, blah. First of all, she's proven she has a lot of heart and fights really hard. And in this fight against Virna Jandiroba, she defeated the former Invicta champ via unanimous decision to win her first set of UFC Gold, the UFC Strawweight Championship. Now, that being said, those compliments aside, I got to say, watching this fight, I did not think that either of these women could beat Zhang Weili, who, by the way, has vacated the strawweight title to fight Valentina Shevchenko for the flyweight championship next month at Madison Square Garden. Personally, I think Weili should just kept the title. I think she just kept the title and been a champ like Amanda Nunes back in the day. But hey, what do I know? But they had a competitive fight. It wasn't bad. I got to say, the crowd at UFC 321, very respectful. I got to say, too, the officiating at UFC 321 actually been pretty damn good. I've been critical of referee Mark Goddard for a while, but listen, man, he stepped up. He's been enforcing the rules. I think he even took a point in a fight. It's great. MMA is great when you enforce the rules and enforce effective grappling, striking, all that jazz. And the story of this fight was Dern looked good on her feet. I wouldn't say she's an amazing striker. I think we've seen her in the past with her striking. It can be a little sloppy, but she was clearly doing damage. Of course, she had a mouse under her eye as well at the end of the fight, but she was very active on her feet. When she got taken down, she didn't fear Jandiroba's takedowns. She kept going for submissions as expected as a BJJ black belt. And at the end of the day, she did get the win. I know some people are calling this a robbery. I wouldn't necessarily call this a robbery. That being said, I am kind of surprised that all three judges had it for Dern. So here are the official scorecards before we hop off for our main event. 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for the new strawweight champion. It was a nice moment. Her daughter was in the cage as well with her family. It's very clear UFC's trying to push this woman as like the next big star, and she's got a great look and this and that. And again, I'm not hating on Mackenzie Dern. I think she works really hard and has made a really damn good transition, to MMA. But the glazing on the commentary was a little much. The glazing in the marketing was a little much. But then again, Conor McGregor, unreliable. Who knows what other allegations are going to come out against him. John Jones, kind of retired, unreliable. Alex Pereira, very reliable, but he's also getting up there in age. Israel Adesanya, kind of on his way out as well. I mean, you look around, like, who's really like somebody you could build around? So I get why UFC wants to market Mackenzie Dern. That being said, Mackenzie Dern, not the best fighter. Currently, probably the best fighter in the division because she just beat the number one ranked strawweight. But again, do I think Jandiroba or Mackenzie Dern would have a real shot against Zhang Weili, or dare I say Valentina Shevchenko? Respectfully, no, I don't. And keep in mind too, Mackenzie Dern was 2-2 her last 4 fights. She did win her last 2 fights though, including one by submission. So hey, she did her thing. And look, at the end of the day, all you can do, whether you get the Dana White privilege or not, is make the most out of your opportunities, right? If you're put in a position, you got to deliver. And I could say she delivered. It wasn't a robbery. It wasn't anything egregious. But again, it's kind of similar like a few years ago when John Jones was having all his problems. All you could think is, man, John Jones could beat all these guys in the light heavyweight division. That being said, I thought DC was a great champion. But I'm just saying, after DC, you had Glover Teixeira, who was great. I loved Glover. I love Jan Blachowicz. But, you think in the back of your mind, what if John Jones was still active? So kind of the same deal. with Zhang Weili. Honestly, kind of the same deal with Amanda Nunes right before her comeback. I'm thinking like, and before Kayla Harrison even arrived, I'm just thinking, man, okay, like no offense to Raquel Pennington, no offense to Juliana Pena, who did upset Amanda Nunes once coming off of COVID. But yeah, we want to see the real champ here, right? We want to see some of the real elite fighters here. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? If Zhang Weili loses, does she go back to strawweight and try to reclaim her crown? I think if you're trying to make Mackenzie Dern into a big star, you have to make that fight on paper, right? Even if it is unfavorable. And also keep in mind, Zhang Weili, while she is an all-time great going into the Hall of Fame, father time, mother time waits for no one, right? So you never know. Stranger things have happened. That being said, though, Jandiroba was coming off of a 5-fight win streak. That is, of course, snapped. As far as some other notable results on the card before we hop off here, Murzakanov defeated Alexander Rakic via TKO in round number 1. I feel bad for Rakic, man. He's had injuries over the years, a lot of bad luck, and like he's looked good in some fights until he gets touched, and well, that's the breaks there. Umar Nurmagomedov bounced back from his loss to Merab Dvalishvili. And hey, listen, everybody's losing to Merab these days. He defeated Mario Batista via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. And he ate a pretty badass knee. I think it was in round number 2 from Batista. So kudos to him and his chin. He got through that. And then we had Alexander Volkov beat Almeida via split decision, 28-29, 29-28, 29-28. That fight to me was just ridiculous. And if you want to know just how ridiculous that fight was, I mean, okay, here from Aaron Bronstetter. Almeida had nearly 11 minutes of control time, had no submission attempts, and landed 9 significant strikes. That's hard to do. Yeah, that is pretty effing hard to do. So anyway, congrats to Mackenzie Dern. Congrats to all the folks who won tonight, and we'll be back for the main event. Until next time, let me know who you got in the main event, and let me know who you'd like to see Mackenzie fight next. Until next time, as always, enjoy the fights. Woo! Thanks so much for watching, Facebook. Shout out to y'all.